Hey, what's up everyone? It's your boy Stunnies bringing you another video. I apologize guys, it's been a little bit since I've made a video, but now lately I've been requested to make a video showing my strategy in a game. Now, I'm not going to necessarily be able to do that because I switch up my strategy every game depending on my opponents. But what I am going to bring you today is I'm going to show you what those top guys on the leaderboards, I mean those guys that have like 600 wins and like 50 losses or less, right? What those guys are doing is bringing you guys to the ground, and because you guys don't know how to get, or what they're doing to you, necessarily don't know how to get out of those situations. So today I'm going to explain what they're doing, and then I'm going to explain how to get out of it. This should help out most people in those higher level games where once you're on the ground, it's not over. But so offensively, this is the offensive part here. So when you take your opponent to the ground and you're in side control, when they flip over like this, if you hold R2 and a little bit up on the right stick, but not enough for the game to know, and as soon as their hand hits the ground, push up on the right stick, and you'll keep them on the ground right here. It's the first thing I do when I get into this position. So now they get a little bit of stamina chopped off. Not a big deal, but at the same time it makes it quicker to transition for us to get on their side. Now here is the crucifix. This is the position that everyone is fucking other people up doing. What they're doing is they're keeping you in here and killing your stamina. So there's one transition there to the right. You can rewind this video and see that transition. And then in this position, when they push left, they put their hands on your chest. Both things we can stop. This next time we're going to show the opposite. So now when they kick up your head like that, that's left on the right stick when you're on the left side of them. And on this, when they push their hands like in your arm to the right, that's right on the right stick. That's how you block those transitions. And then this right here, if they're looking away from you, that would have been right on the right stick. I did it right back to him to get into position. Now this is an online game, guys, so it's going to be a little bit here and there battle, and now I realize at this point this guy is not a scrub. At the end I show you his record. He's actually quite good, so there's going to be a lot of denying transitions. Now what I said earlier, stopping him from getting up, that's what I'm getting ready to do right now. Because he didn't do that, he made a transition, put me in half guard. So I switched it up here and go to top mount, and then I'm trying to get back into side control. I'm trying to fake him out, get there. Now, we are fighting to get in the crucifix, and he's not allowing us. So we're going to, again, we're trying to make it so he doesn't stand up, puts us back in half guard. We're going to fake top mount and go back to side control. Try crucifix again. He's on top of it. So now we're waiting for his transition. The biggest thing is being patient. Alright, you want to be patient in side control and try to stop their transitions. Like, that should have been stopped. It was my own fault that it wasn't. Alright, so this time he got up. Really, I'm not worried about this, because if you hit him with a couple times to the knee and a hold L2 and up on the right stick to suplex him down, that's a very hard takedown to block once they're hit. Alright, so now we got him back in the crucifix. Going towards us, that's left on the right stick. Going away from us, right there, that's right on the right stick. Those are the blocks to those transitions. And this right here is right on the right stick when they're doing that. So we went back to the same little game. Now he's on top. I'll do a little defense here. So when someone has you in side control, laying in elbows, tap the sprawl. Tap the sprawl and then transition to half guard. Tapping the sprawl will keep him from hitting you, and it'll actually make your stamina go up. So now we're back on his back, but we're going to let him up because the round's over. So I just touched the surface, you know, kind of showing you the transitions. So later on, we're going to start blocking those transitions and make it the battle that it is. But right now, I'm giving you guys the best understanding you can of when people get you on the ground and how they're blocking your transitions. But the big thing is being patient, all right? Being patient on the ground is what will save you. That'll make it so it's easier to stop transitions, and your transitions won't get stopped. Alright, there's going to be a little bit of stand up here until we get back on the ground, so bear with me. But either way, so when I'm standing up in this situation, not that this is how I normally fight, but showing you guys this video and how the top guys are going, They're trying to get you in the clinch, most likely. Now, Freddie Edgar doesn't have the thigh clinch. A lot of our top guys will use the thigh clinch. Throw some knees and takedowns along with it. But I'm showing you that it's just as easy to take people down without the thigh clinch. Alright, so he's fighting me off, so I'm just going to talk more about the ground. Alright, so a couple tips with the ground. When I'm blocking transitions, I'm holding R2, and I'm slightly pushing the right stick in the direction that I think he's going to go. Not enough to where the game recognizes that, alright? Not enough where I'm like already doing a transition. No. Or blocking or whatever transition. I'm just holding it slightly so when he does start, I'm anticipating the transition. That's what I'm getting to. So I just simply push it all the way down as soon as he starts to move. And if he transitions the other way, so be it. Because normally I'm trying to stop the transition that puts him in a better position. And I'm allowing the transition that puts me in the better position. So I'm trying to think one step ahead of my opponent. Or multiple steps. Alright? So that's how transitioning has gotten a lot easier for me. It's really hard, in my opinion, unless they have low stamina, to hit denying a transition without like anticipating beforehand because of how quick they're done. So now we're back on the ground. Let's get right back at it. Look at the patience between both of us. That's how you know we are both good on the ground. Now he's going to the left, so we hit left on the right stick. He went to the right, so we hit right on the right stick. Went left, and he faked left and went right, so he got it. Now we're back in side control because I tried to throw an elbow and he transitioned. Alright, that's a good defensive tip. Try to wait for your opponent to move and side saddle, and then start transitioning out of it, and it'll automatically put him back in side control. So I just went in the top mount, try to throw him off a little bit. When I throw punches in top mount, I hold down on the left stick to make them like wider punches so they go around the block a little bit. And they're harder to catch the arm even though he did there. So congratulations for him, but most people have a hard time catching the arm on the modified punches. Elbows are too slow in my opinion, so I avoid them. But alright, so 30 seconds. I'm just kind of stall here, throwing him in a guillotine when I like half stamina, he has full. So I wasn't expecting to get that. But, now those right there where you're on their back and they're going left or right, that's simply holding R2 and blocking left or right on the right stick. The same direction that they go in. If I haven't seen them try to like stand up, then I'll start anticipating which way I think they're going to move. And sometimes you can get a block out of there. But more or less, denying transitions when you're in that position, it's more just to kill off stamina. That's why I touched on it a little bit. Because stamina control on the ground it's huge. It's like a second mini game while you're on the ground. Now you can see in this video, I'm like super focused in getting him to the ground or in the clinch. So he gets a couple good combos off for himself. So, I mean, again, congratulations to him, sneaking him in. But so now we got him in thigh clinch. We'll throw a couple knees. I think we all know how to get out of the thigh clinch, like I said before in my previous videos. So I don't think I really need to touch up on that. Again, but if you guys want a video in the clinch, I can definitely do that. So he put us on the ground, put us in a full guard. So this is where he actually was giving me some trouble in my full guard. So you'll see the struggle. So with this, your main goal is just pulling him down into the full guard. You probably won't get your get up transitions off in time. So it's a pain in the ass if they're just blocking that. You just got to get them when after they throw a punch or two. Try and get them in your full guard and transition from there, right? I only say full guard. I don't want it to sound fucking crazy, but you're kind of in your full guard, but it locks your feet. But anyway, all right. So we're back standing up. That was a wasted attempt on the ground, but he took us down there. Again, this shows you how good he is on the ground. It's not like a new guy where a lot of these things I'm showing in the video, if you did them online, you could probably get knockouts in 30 seconds to a minute, you know, just by ground and pound. But this was a good guy to show an example on of someone who knows what they're doing. So now he's going left, so we block left with the right stick. He tried twice, tried 3 times, but that time was a fake where he didn't completely hold left and got off it before we blocked it. So he was able to pull off another transition. I like to deny transitions from the side saddle, but I was having a hard time against this guy. Something good about him that I want to touch up on is he's very inconsistent when doing transitions. His timing is not so much of a pattern as most people, but I mean, you could probably tell by like how much he's kind of mixing it up, where he'll do a couple and then do a fake transition, or he'll wait a second and then transition. It kind of fucks up your anticipation. But there I'm showing you guys a block from that when they're trying to get back on your backside. It was just R2 and right on the right stick to do that. Alright, back at side control, guys. Alright, so we're back on his back. We're going to try to stop from getting up, but I guess our controller vibrated and it didn't go through. I believe he takes us down here. So again, kudos to him. See how I fucked him up right there? A little defensive tip, side saddle, I said it earlier. But when they're throwing consistent elbows, just kind of start tapping the transition, like faking it almost. And it will just throw them back into side control and cut off a lot of stamina. Alright. If you guys have watched this video to this point, thank you. I know it's an amazingly long video. It wasn't necessarily my intent. But I feel like there's a lot of good gameplay in this video to not show the whole thing. But now moving on to this round, I think this is the round where I end it. I want to emphasize that on the ground, side control, dominant side, side control. Dominant side control on the ground is the most dominant position in my opinion. And you'll see me finish him off just by simply keeping him side control. But so far, the reason I'm showing you the crucifix is because that position, you can let them transition you out of both, because once they transition out of fucking crucifix, puts them in side saddle, right? If you can just sit there and let them transition from that, and it'll cut their stamina down and your stamina won't move. It's really great. But that's not really, and a lot of people, you can finish off people in that position, don't get me wrong. And you'll see it again. I'm trying to just chop off some stamina. He got that transition. I blocked this one because I was ready. I was holding, so in that situation, I'm kind of holding left a little bit, anticipating that transition. So he flips over like he did here, because that's the position I want to get him in, right in this position. And the only way to get him in that position easily is in side saddle when they transition away from you. But like I was saying, the main position I want to be in is side control, and I want to have close to full stamina and them close to nothing or half. And this is where I think I finished it right here, where I'm cutting off his stamina and just holding L1 and tapping square. Holding L1, tapping square. And when he starts to transition, I have my finger hovering R2 and my right thumb hovering the right stick. And as soon as when he has no stamina, his transitions are slow. So I can move my finger in time to hold R2 and hit right on the right stick to stop the transition. This was a pretty weak finish to that fight, but side control is really good. The main thing you have to focus on is blocking the transitions in side control. When they have little to no stamina, like he did at the end of that video, he couldn't fight for himself. He couldn't fight for himself. Where I could just consistently throw elbows, and I had a lot of stamina left. You know what I mean? So side control is so dominant, and that's how a lot of people are getting beat in the higher ranks, is people are just cutting off their stamina by denying transitions in absolutely dominant positions. This is the guy, by the way. This is his record. But they're in crucifix, keeping people in crucifix, and then letting them transition, getting into side control, and laying in elbows and not letting them transition. So to get out of that, just tap the sprawl a couple times, and then transition. Thanks for watching, guys.